are you doing? You're postponing unemployment. So in this National Employment Authority, we were supposed to have the employers through the Federation of Kenya Employers. We were supposed to have a private sector alliance, the universities, the technical colleges, to sit and say what skills does our country need, so that we change the curriculum and the content and the courses in our schools, including the VTC. So I agree with you. The second thing it was to do, it was of course to do, and which has become the biggest thing it does, labor migration. You know, that's the only thing NEA is doing now. Yeah, on people going to Saudi Arabia and Middle East, that is the only thing it is doing. But the other thing it was supposed to do was to create a database of skills available. The way, if you want today to get an Uber, you go to your phone and say, I want to move from CBD to Westlands. I should be able to say, if I want a plumber, I just go to my phone, I find somebody certified around me by government and engage them from nearby. And then there was a training component. If we sort out the NEA Act and implement it as the spirit that was there before, we'd solve all of these issues. So I agree. There is no plumber who has no work in this country. There's always work. There is no mason who misses work. But we need to build more of these facilities. That one I concede. We are not doing as well as we should. We should actually increase the number of these facilities. And that's something I commit to do. When I come next year, you will see a change in terms of allocations and what we've been able to construct based on the resources that we have. I think the issue of PWD's access, content and what they're being taught, I can have my CC respond to that and the numbers kindly. But please look at NEA, look at that law. It has the potential to sort out.
Policy.
There was a policy.
You have a policy? No, I'm saying yourself, you haven't committed to the policy.
No. The policy we don't have yet because we're doing it concurrently with the Act. And the Act is still going on. But it's something we need to fast track, the policy on vocational training. I agree.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to appreciate this honorable committee. I want to talk about the number of secondary schools that we have in Nairobi, the 180 number. About the PWD, we are using brailles for visually impaired persons. Then we provide the sign language in our VTC, for even during the national examination. Then for the physically impaired, most of the courses that we're offering are friendly to them, so they have a chance to be part of our organization. Then you ask about the courses that we are providing and the cost that at the same time. The fees differ depending on the type of the course. If you're doing an artisan or craft or mechanical, there is a total different fee that you're supposed to pay. It only depends with the duration and the kind of course that you are taking. So from different levels, we providing, like for the motor vehicle, mechanical, you will see it's ranging per term for about 15,000 per term. So the total amount they pay per year, with the course runs for a duration of 1 year, is 40,000. So it keeps on changing. That one I submit, Madam Chair.
So do you have, maybe just as an addition, do you have a specific VTC which is training the PWDs? So that if you wanted to visit today, you can go and see the disabled undergoing training.
Yes.
Which one is that?
I can always ask you anytime you visit the Nora VTC and Waithaka, you will always find that we're offering the same services to persons living with disability.
Yes, Professor?
Yeah, I just wanted to know from the governor, what kind of support is being given to these VTCs? Is it school fees or capitation? Number two, I wanted the governor to know that there are some governors who are giving free. We have just come from Trans Nzoia, where they have capped the cost of any training to 20,000. And the county government pays 18, and the parents pay only 2,000. Just came from the airline.
That is commendable.
Yeah.
It's something we can look at. You know, the Bible says, as iron sharpens iron, so does man sharpen man. If there's a good idea around county, it's something good. Yeah.
But what is, are you currently paying?
So we do budgetary provisions and fees. So for instance, we did, is it 71 million shillings? Then, for instance, from the bursaries, we've said that
So
1
1
million.
million is what per student? Capitation per student or for
We can calculate it.
or what is it?
It's capitation. It's more or less capitation. Because we do 100 million for the ECDs, and then 71 for the VTCs, and then another 85 million now from what. So each ward, we have 85 wards, has 7 million for bursary, but one of that million is to the VTCs. So that is 85 and 71. Then now, the fees that are charged by, by the different schools for the different courses. Then now that makes up the 3 sources of funding for the VTCs.
And do you have any partners in these VTCs?
Yes.
And what is the extent of their
You can list.
contribution?
Some of our partners, the first partner is Culture Network. They have really helped us in terms of the infrastructure. Then the second one is Catholic Relief Services. Then there's the World Vision. There's the Kenya Good Neighbors. They've done for us a block in Dandora, Greenlight College. Then there's Shofco, the Shining Hope for Communities. That have been our instrumental partners when it comes to VTC issues. Thank you.
Do you give startup kits to those who graduate from your centers?
Yes, that's what we do. Actually, for those who are graduating, we always give out the startup kits so that they can start something when they go back to the society.
Any proof of you doing that? Because Governor, this is very important. Let the Nairobi people know that you're doing that. It might even attract more students, so more learners. So I don't know whether you have any. Do you have any information on it in your document?
And while answering that, can they tell us whether they're in this KCB? KCB seems to be doing a lot in the rural counties.
Everyone is running away going to rural counties. The need is here. This is where there's a population, as you've said. We can be able to provide that information.
Please let us have it.
You know, when the governor pays a courtesy call to an MD of a bank, they will clean the carpet for you.
I'll try. They're just here at Kenkom. I'll go visit them. I'll talk to
Please give us that information. It's very important. Governor, the reason why we were asking about transition is because if you have 180 secondary schools and 11 VTCs, and I'm sure maybe percentage of transition to the university will be 30%. So can you imagine how many other young people you are offloading to the streets? You need to skill them so that at least they can be useful to themselves and even to you and lessen your burden.
I agree. We'll go out there to look for support to build more. The need is there. It is seen. The lack of this absorbing of young people affects everyone. That's, if you look at crime rate, now everybody, when they finish school and they don't go to university or the college, what do? They get either into crime or they try and get a motorbike, to ride. It's a challenge that I think needs to be faced head on, and you made a compelling case, and I agree with you.
And Governor, I think also you should look at your enrollment, because as a county you should have deliberate campaign to actually make people be aware that these colleges are there, and that also will help in this county. Honorable Senators.
Maybe just last two for me.
Okay.
I've heard the governor saying that the bursaries are back. That is news to me, because the last time the control of budget was not releasing funds to counties. Has she finally accepted the agreements under, is it 187 or 189?
189.
189 on the cooperation between counties. 187 of course will be transferred. Functions.
Yesterday we had a meeting at the COG with it was a virtual meeting, and the controller had said there's a list of requirements that she had put for that to resume. And as I've explained, for me, my biggest challenge is those who are already on scholarship. So those requirements, once they're met, counties can be able to issue bursaries and scholarships. She's she's looking at it as almost a transfer, the intergovernmental agreement. So it's almost a transfer or a sharing. Because if you transfer it, it means then the money must come.
Yes,
from the national. 187 says that first of all, the constitutional responsibility remains with the level of government that is originally mandated to perform that function, and the funding must then also follow it. And so it's a very convoluted argument. As I was saying, what we're doing is just being pragmatic because of the pressure from the people to continue serving them in that manner, especially those who have been cut off midstream. But that is what she asked for. So what is left is a notification to the County Assembly and the National Assembly. We've done our County Assembly notification. We've gazetted that intergovernmental agreement for counties. Makwiny, Nairobi, Ranga, and I don't know, I keep forgetting the fourth one.
Chair, I think we need an urgent consultation with control of budget.
I've just informed.
Because I'm not aware.
I've just informed our researcher that that is urgent, that we need to be informed so that we can be well conversant with their conversation with the COG.
But you know, it's really, if you look at it critically, constitutionally, it is not a transfer of functions. If you transfer a function, the function first of all must be stated in the fourth schedule of the constitution. There is no function called bursary or scholarship in the fourth schedule. You have not transferred education, because if you transfer the function of education, it means that then that county that signs that intergovernmental agreement must also pay the teachers, must provide all the services of that function called education. So it's a very convoluted and warped, I find it to be warped logically.
No, Governor, what you're trying to do is pay the bill for the national government. To pay the bill for the national government...
Partially, because the bill is bigger.
No, you're trying to pay it to their bill nonetheless.
You see,
so when you take over the function of the other level, the resources as planned by the under the constitution is that the resources, remember the resource follow function mantra, the resources that were the equitable share for Nairobi County is budgeted for do not include resources for secondary education, do not include resources for university. So for you to take over that function, you're actually paying the bill for national government. The correct position, as I first told you, there is no function called social protection. So you're using some convoluted arrangement around social protection, cooperation, collaboration to justify. But the correct position is this: governors can, and the late party leader actually suggested that the function should come to counties. So until the function has come to counties, you can assist the national government only through conditional grants. They allow you to give those bursaries, but they must give you the money.
You know, I agree with you 100% philosophically and in principle.
But practically, what you are trying to do, you are helping them kill devolution.
But let's help the governor to tell us what the first two governors told us. They said this thing is pressure from the ground.
No.
It has nothing to do with the functions of Schedule 4. At that time, I think this social whatever had not been developed. But when the first two governors came here, they said, we must tell you that we are the ones suffering on the ground because the public is on the ground and the national government is miles away. So we agreed that, but we said, when you go for your summit, please discuss this function so that it is formally devolved and then the money follows the function. That is all we have been saying.
You know,
we can see we are insisting on why Nairobi can sit with 11 VTCs. It is so painful because it means Nairobi is filling the streets with kids that are not literate, kids that are semi-skilled, and now we are at risk because Nairobi is doing a lot of buildings and we have a lot of fake masons there also. Because when they come in, a contractor will say, where's Shiga E, Shiga Ma, Shiga, instead of skilling them.
You know, in principle, I agree. But practically, and I think what the Prime Minister was saying, which is true, you see, what is devolution? Devolution is based on the principle of subsidiarity. The principle of subsidiarity is so simple. It's just that a function is best offered at the lowest level compatible with the benefit of that function. We are better placed as counties to to run with that education. We're better placed. We understand the needs of where we are. So actually what we need to have is a full transfer. But this one, what we have is a mongrel. You know, it is half German Shepherd, half half Bosco. You know.
Thank you. Yes, Senator Mudama.
Yeah, Governor, even as you are these VTCs in Nairobi, and you've invited us to come, which we also to visit. We visited some of the counties and we found that they didn't have any equipment in these VTCs. So, as you rebuild more, equip the ones which are there. If it's mechanic, make sure that there is a vehicle there they are dealing with. If it's electrical, make sure that they have all the electrical equipments. And even mercenary, make sure that they have all the equipments that they need there to do their work and to learn efficiently. Thank you.
And I want to assume those are your closing remarks.
No, but have we started closing remarks because there's one question here on number 17.
Okay.
That the county is now shifting from NITA to NEC to TVET SIDAC. We are not there already. What are the challenges? When do we see ourselves having TVET SIDAC examination?
I'll ask my director to respond to that.
Thank you, Chair. The challenge was the training of the retooling of the instructors, and that has already been done, and now we are going to move fully to SIDAC. Thank you.
Are you satisfied, Senator? Okay. Senator Kenya, please, and give your closing remarks.
Madam Chair, I'm looking at some of these VTCs. They are not registered and TVETA. I don't know what that would mean. But Madam Chair, everybody here is talking about increasing without looking at numbers of enrollment. It doesn't make sense. You're telling the governor to increase the number of VCTs, but when I do average of the 12 that he has, the number of students in every VCT is 90. So why are we talking about increasing the numbers instead of us talking of enrollment? Because if you look a place like Kiwanja, we have only 24 students. I'm reading page 523. If you look at, but that one, the numbers again are confirmed. If you look at page 522, many of them are not registered under TVETA. If you look at numbers, Kiwanja has 24. You go straight to Jericho. So Kahawa Garrison has 6. Jericho has 18. You go to Old Mathare, and I thought Mathare you have many people. The one that you, Vice Chair, you're saying they will be criminals. You only have 20. 20.
No.
You have 20. You go to Moja VCT.
That has to be withdrawn. Let's not characterize people from any part of
Okay, sorry. I withdraw and apologize. I'm sorry. I didn't want to say that. Sorry. I withdraw. No. I agree. I withdraw and apologize. But I'm dealing with the numbers. So, Madam Chair, let us talk about enrollment.
Senator, I think I'd asked the governor.
I asked that question. Yeah. I asked that question, it was not answered.
Okay, then maybe you could answer, because I also asked what he's doing, whether he's got a deliberate effort to enhance the enrollment in this
The challenge is, now we even have universities offering some of these artisan courses. And somebody, for instance, Kiwanja is next to KU. Would you prefer a certificate from Kiwanja or from Kenyatta University?
And also they get capitation.
capitation. So also, some of these institutions should leave this to a different level, because you can get it from the technical university here, or you go to Old Mathare. It's a walking distance. Where will you go to?
That's where
so we can do our campaign, increase the capacity.
Yes.
But still, once that is done, let's have a distinction.
Yeah, you have said it differently from the way another governor said it. He said, can you stop universities from doing this certificate? So we want you to give us those kind of suggestions so that we rain on the minister to make sure that they have structure.
Yeah.
Without giving up,
we can phase it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that without giving up on these young ones,
Yeah.
we can actually encourage them and tell them we are the only ones giving you the best CDAC course. And because now, what Tibet is doing now is going for the unit only. When you do plumbing, it's plumbing only, and they are removing the theories. Universities have too much theories.
Too much of the theory.
And if they convert themselves again to teach the way the Tibeta is proposing, then they are ruining everybody else. So we wanted to go the other way and tell us, can you stop these characters from invading?
I don't want an immediate stop, because then I have only your 11. It is a gradual phasing out as we build that capacity. But secondly, I think the language of leaders. You know, when you tell people, kama umeanguka mtihani, enda kwa hii, no one wants to be seen going to that place.
That is why it was changed from village polytechnic,
you know, because
to vocational
you make
training
it look like
centers.
ukienda huko you're a failure, you know, and then stigmatizing. But if you go to countries like Germany, the top students, the ones who do the best, are the ones who go to do this, technical works. It's the other way around, you know.
Chair, I think, Governor, it begins with your policy.
Yeah.
If you get the information, the data, you'll be able to know, one, this is our catchment area. Two, we need to do advocacy. Three, your department should be able to tell you we have 80 universities around Nairobi, and 50 of them are offering this at this level, and then you decide what is the value proposition that I'm going to put to my public VTCs that will bring the most needy to come to this particular VTC. So it always begins with policy. It gives you data, it gives you the information that will enable you to plan for the situation.
And I think also, Governor, you could be much better off if you had many learners and be dealing with the issue of stigma, like a county like Makwiny. Makwiny, actually, stigma of these kids being in vocational training centers, wearing uniforms and all that is an issue. But the enrollment is very high.
And you see, it's because you don't have universities there. You don't have other colleges in Makwiny or in Trans Nzoia. You know, I have a village home in Trans Nzoia. There's no alternative. But in this city, every 2 steps is a college and a university on top of a bar. Even here, even next door here is a university.
That is agreeable.
Yeah, there are 3 around here.
It's agreeable. That's understandable. That's agreeable, Governor. So, Honorable Senators, I think Kenya, you did your closing remarks. Please, if you've not.
I have to say that I'm impressed by the presentation of Governor of Nairobi, and I want to commend him on the feeding program. It is the best thing that you are doing to the students of Nairobi, and congratulations. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Senator Madama.
I just want to congratulate the governor for the good work that you are doing, and remember that you are from the Senate, so don't let the Senate down. Keep up doing the good work, because you know what you ought to do. Actually, we should, when you come here, you appear before the Senate, you should just be flowing with whatever questions which are there, and congratulations for that, but check on your water issues.
Senator Marango, you want us to go back again?
Hata mimi ningetaka kumpa kongole gavana kwa kupambana. Unajua kuwa gavana Nairobi na si kwa mbaya, lakini tukiangalia gavana Nairobi, gavana wa Lamu na kwingine, hapa lazima ufanye kazi na ni ngumu. Na pia unajua Nairobi pia watu ni vichwa ngumu, sio kama kwingine. Kwa hivyo kupambana unapambana. Yenye ningekuuliza gavana ni kwamba kwa sababu wewe ulisomea chekechea hii, nimekwambia Lang'ata. Sijui kama nitarudi huko tena, kwa sababu nilikuwa naona yuko hapa na ashatoka, lakini wewe uko na nafasi ya kwenda pale uangalie venye mambo iko pale kwa sababu Lang'ata ni njera ya kimataifa, na pia watoto wengi wanazaliwa pale, wengi wanapelekwa pale. Uende utathmini na uweze kuangalia ile maneno iko hapo. Nikimalizia pia naweza sema ni kweli kwamba kuna mabadiliko katika sekta ya maji Nairobi, kwa sababu kuna mahali naishi na najua imekuwa kizungumkuti, lakini hata kama sisi ambao sisi tumetoka kaunti ambazo ziko kule bado tuna matatizo kama hayo. Lakini endelea kupambana na hiyo hali kuhakikisha kwamba pia umefaulu. Ya mwisho kabisa, ni ngumu sana kushindana na wewe kwa sababu unaelezea na unapitisha. Tungependa pia tukuje tuangalie, kujionea sisi wenyewe wakati tutapanga mkutano, kamati, utuonyeshe tukiwa huko sasa huko ambapo kazi imefanyika. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Mwenyekiti.
Thank you, Senator Muma.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Just to say that I'm happy at the conversation we've had today. The clarity of mind you have, even as we have pointed out the issues that we think you need to point out. I think your comms team needs to do a better job in terms of communicating what you're doing, in my view. Senator Kavindu says she's proud of you because you are part of the Senate. I need to add, apart from being part of the Senate, maybe your DNA is not bad. So just to thank you, but to ask that as by the time we come, I would request the issues where we found gaps, trigger your teams to immediately begin on that, so that next year at this time, we have a better report to give around Nairobi in terms of the little things that we raised.
Thank you, Senators. Vice Chair.
Thank you. I think, like the other senators who worked with him have said, at least he has not disappointed. I'm glad he apologized at the beginning, because it's not like Sakaja to skip things. That is not his nature, and I was very surprised. But the kind of information you have at the fingertips tell us that you were not fearing to appear. So I think we are happy with that. Governor, the only last statement I would have said is that you check the numbers. Let's check the figures that are outside, which should be accommodated in ECD, so that we don't leave them out. Whether they're in informal or formal settlement areas, please pay focus on them, because you will leave a wonderful legacy if the informal sector will be your greatest supporters at the end of your term, whether one or two, because those are people that you change once and for all, and let's have them also have their children going as far as university. Also the same thing with the VTCs. Please, let's focus on the numbers who are outside, not those who are inside. How many would have loved to come in? And it looks like it requires a deliberate campaign, even in high schools and secondary schools. Once in a while, as they're having education days, you walk in, or your officers walk in to talk to them about this course. That should not be taken as though village polytechnic is the worst thing. If you can empower them, you will change. And we have seen that where there is that kind of motivational speeches, speaking to these people, they actually change and they go back. As you started, I want to comment on that yes, education is the only equalizer. And if you can give to the low and the high at the same time, it will really be very beneficial. Otherwise, thank you so much for the information. I think we have got a lot of information to digest.
Thank you. Maybe before I close, Your Excellency, I can give you a chance to also have your closing remarks.
Thank you very much, Chair and honorable senators, starting with my Deputy Speaker, and Senator Muma, Senator Rango, Senator of my neighbor, Senator from Machakos, and Senator Kinywa. You know, somebody said you campaign in poetry and you govern in prose. When you're in the Senate, which I was in, it is very easy to say to a governor, this is not happening, this is not happening. And I was very vocal. I was one of the loudest senators. When you get to the driving seat, every morning I wake up, I am a doctor, an engineer, it has rained, I am a teacher, I am a chef, I must cook for the children, there's a pothole, you are, everything in one. And I keep saying that to be a governor is the best testing ground for any job on earth, because you must have the mind of a CEO, the heart of a social worker, you must have the resilience of a politician, thick skin, innocence of a dove, and shrewdness of a snake, all in one person. And so I'm very grateful because today's meeting has really helped me in areas that maybe I had not looked at as much as I can because of the immediacy of challenges. You know, I'm looking at the weather and I'm seeing it's going to flood, and immediately, and it will flood on Akura Road and Akena Road, but Sakaja is blamed. You know, that's another thing Senate must look at. If they don't give us the funds, all these roads which you have problems, Jogo Road, Langata Road, this one outside here, they're not under the counties. I think it's time, and I would want to work on, I'll take some time, maybe a few days, to work on a paper that I would want to come with to the Senate, even maybe through COG, on areas that I've seen have gaps in devolution, so that you can support. Because those are areas where you will find now, you know, casualties in counties, not because of their own doing, but because of the structural, you know, challenges or systemic issues that come with devolution. I want to assure you that you will see a marked improvement on these areas. Again, I am sorry that I missed the other meeting. I would never, you know, normally I'm told when I'm called to Senate, first of all, the media are more than usual. I don't know why, but I like them, they're my friends. And there is quorum. And so when people have come from different parts of the country and then you're not there, it was not something of my doing. And I thank you that you accepted that apology, because, you know, they put in my office, they kept that summons on my desk until yesterday. I told them, please, you know, this thing is giving me a bad feeling. Can you take it out of my? I've seen it. You know, you can't keep it just hanging there on my desk. And it's not something that I would want to happen again. So please, we will welcome you to the city. Don't come with one of your colleagues I saw fighting somebody somewhere. That one we will not accept you, because what I like how we are very pragmatic. You know, this oversight is to help. It is to grow. It is to support. It is not, you know, it's not a disciplinary process. You know, it's a process to support. When I have my officers here, they can hear the questions that are being asked and where we need to pull up our socks. So that we will do. Thank you for the compliments on the school feeding and all the compliments. We will keep doing it, and we hope that we can cover many more schools. So let's keep it up. Senator Catherine, Senator Auntie, you know, I can't just call her Senator without giving her the respect. One of the words I'm living with is policy. Policy, policy, policy. And you know, as a senator, that is exactly what I would ask a governor. And we have a department that has actually been preparing a lot of draft policies. I need to look at what they have. And I agree, once you have policy, then the immediacy and urgency of what happens to them tomorrow can be handled while dealing with, you know, medium to long term issues that are of a systemic nature and structural nature. So thank you so much for that advice, and we will consult you. I don't know as a senator if you can do, because you're a very good consultant on some of these things, even in your previous engagement. You can guide us on the right way to go, whether we work with Kipra. Is your oh, wonderful.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Senator.
You've asked that. I was going to offer that and tell you that you can consult her. Governor, one reason why you say that the press is always full house and there's full house in the room is because we want to remind you we are also residents of Nairobi. So whatever you're doing, that's what we consume, and we are here actually not as much as we are senators, we're also the residents of this great city of Nairobi. I also want to thank you, and maybe just tell you, Governor, let's avoid negative publicity. You are a senator, and I think you can agree how important a conversation that we've had a day like today has been so productive, so informative. We've learned from you, you've learned from us, from what we've seen in other counties, and from that we can help each other build this country. And I think I'm happy that you appreciate how important it is to take care of the young ones especially. In fact, I'm happy that, as we keep on saying, formation time starts from 4 years to 7. You're even going further from the beginning. So that is very important. And I think to us, it is important that we had this conversation today. And we want to assure you that in very near future, we are going to visit quite a number of your facilities so that we can see what you've given us on paper is what is on ground. Honorable Senators, allow me to thank the Senate of Nairobi because for once, let's appreciate that his engagement with the governor was very cordial and very productive, and he gave us insights of where he thinks there are problems, and the governor has been able to answer him on site that whatever is happening is exactly how it is, and whatever is not happening is going to be done. Thank you once again, Honorable Your Excellency Governor. Thank you, Honorable Senators. The meeting stands adjourned until Tuesday. Thank you. Yes.